you very much, and welcome to Junket Jam Live, filmed right here in the United States of immigrant baby snatchers. Unlike Washington, we here at Junket Jam, we welcome everyone with open arms, but not open legs, okay? Because it's not that kind of party. I would like to give a big thank you very much to our studio audience for joining us. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, as the host, I really appreciate having an audience here because there's a really good chance that at least one of you will leave something valuable behind. I like that very much. Now, a production like this takes a lot of work, you know, to put together, and I feel like I definitely deserve a prize at the end of it. But now, just in case anyone does leave something behind, our lost and found guidelines are very simple, okay? You lose it, I sell it on eBay. It happens, you know, people are just so forgetful. I remember as a child, my mother would always run around screaming, "Oh my God, where did I leave my kids?" Of course, she knew where we were. She just enjoyed filling out missing persons reports rather than be at home with us. But now, to be fair to her, at home, we had her outnumbered because, you know, in bed, she was a slot machine. What can I say? My mother was a hot piece of ass. I also think it's fair to say that once you start referring to your mother as a hot piece of ass, it's time to move on to the next joke. Now, being a parent is not easy, right? Because having children is challenging. And if you have more than one child, odds are you've already forgotten all their names by now. Though there were 6 of us, my mother called us all by the same name. Please leave me alone. Now, not many people know this, but I do have a twin. And just like me, she's real pretty. No one was more surprised than my mother. 2 daughters for the price of 1 cesarean. Now, my sister and I are obviously different sexes. She's a woman, I'm an idiot. But I'm very glad my mother didn't get a sonogram at the time when she was pregnant with us, because had she known she was going to have twins, we probably would have ended up as back-to-back abortions instead. It's like what my grandmother used to always say, God makes no mistakes, but you know, some of his work could use a little editing. Now, me and my sister are paternal, but people still ask us always if we look alike, which we don't because she was circumcised. Thank you. Actually, my sister looks like my father, and I look like my mother could have done a lot better for herself. My sister is beautiful, though. Especially on the days when she's not stenciling in her eyebrows. Sometimes my sister isn't my sister at all. She's an Etch-a-Sketch. Now, I can't really describe what my sister looks like, but I can tell you this. Sometimes she looks like she gets makeup tips from a Batman villain. Now, because we were twins, obviously, we had to share a birthday. And I don't know if any of you have ever been to a little Puerto Rican girl's quinceañera before, but if you have, then you know it was also her baby shower. which was always unfair for me because no one ever celebrated what came out of me after unprotected sex. Glitter, by the way. Now, for our 18th birthday, we had separate cakes. A stripper popped out of hers, but the only thing that jumped out of my cake was a roach. Oh. Yeah, it was gross. The cake, not the roach. The roach actually did us all a favor. But I don't know, sometimes I really feel guilty about birthdays because I feel like nowadays people celebrate their birthdays like it's something they accomplished all by themselves, when really it just so happens that it was by chance that their mother didn't miscarry. That's all that happened. The only reason anyone ever even remembers our birthdays is because Facebook tells them to. We actually owe our birthdays to our mothers. She's the one who got through an entire 9 months without ever giving in to the temptation of throwing herself down a flight of stairs. We should all stop being selfish and start celebrating our moms on our birthdays too. Unless you were adopted, then every day is a celebration for your birth mother. But you know who else we owe a thank you to? Jesus. It's odd. Stay with me. Not only do we get a gift on our birthday, but on Jesus' birthday, we get another one. And what does Jesus get in return? Nothing, right? All that credit goes to Santa. Can you imagine how that must make Jesus feel? Jesus was a miracle worker. Do you know how hard it must have been for Jesus to convince God's chosen people that he was the King of Jews without having any money? That's a miracle. I can't even convince my own dog that I'm her owner. And I buy her stuff all the time. And that's not all. Poor Jesus' life was sacrificed by God, his Father, so that we may live. So they say, I can't really corroborate any of that. And what about Mary? It's not like she had any say in the matter. Can you imagine a mother coming home to find her son missing, and all his father can say, well, you know, yeah, I hope you don't mind. I gave our son's life away. It was for the greater good of the world. Right? She would have been pissed. Anyway, that's how sharing a birthday with my sister feels sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for letting me share that. I'm actually real happy for my sister. She's been doing really great. She's made bail. I don't know, these days I feel like we're less like twin siblings and more like twin mattresses, right? Because I look like I still sleep on one, and she's just been stained really badly. The good news is, though, guys, we have a really great show for you, and we've got a very special guest today joining me, so please stick around. This is Junket Jam Live. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Welcome back to Junket Jam Live. Thank you. Thank you. Now, with so much divisiveness and political incivility going on in our country right now, which is nothing new, but certainly gone rampant lately, it has become maybe too much of an unforgiving atmosphere to consider getting to know a perfect stranger, let alone hearing and understanding another side of a story. And since the advent of smarter technology, it's also become increasingly difficult to have a mutual conversation with an actual human being. My fingers have actually gone lifeless from trying to have Facebook conversations with my mother, and she's right in the next room, ignoring all of my event invites. That's why that chair is empty. But you know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them to their phones with super glue. So rather than be disappointed from the lack of proper communication from my family and friends, for this segment, I decided to sit down for a little 20 questions and answers with my new smart and technologically advanced friend instead. His name is Alexo, and he's Alexa's illegitimate half-brother. And together, we bring to you Pub Chat. Enjoy.
Let's begin. First question.
Okay.
Any drugs?
Sure, I'll take some. You have?
No, you moron. Do you do drugs?
Maybe a little pot here and there. I did try cocaine once. Yeah, put me right to sleep. In order for me to get back up, I had to try it again.
You once had long hair, didn't you?
Oh yes, I did used to have long, beautiful Puerto Rican hair. I donated it to the American Cancer Society, yes. It just makes me really happy to know that I can make another human being happy, especially that girl who had the opportunity to open up the box and, try on her new wig and, get her brush stuck in it as well.
What do you think of New York City traffic?
There was this one time I actually came across this perfect, beautiful parking spot. And just like that, someone came right in and took it from me. I don't drive, I just like to complain.
Isn't New York City full of pests?
Oh yes, there was this one time I actually thought I had bed bugs, but luckily I was just overreacting. They were just crabs. I didn't have to throw out my mattress or anything, just the asshole I shared it with.
Rumor has it you were a promiscuous young man.
Oh yeah, when I was younger, I was a slut. Man, I've had so many boyfriends. I think I've had more boyfriends than Pamela Anderson has had herpes outbreaks. And that's a lot.
Any STDs?
There was this one time I did have chlamydia. Drive me to work. When you're running late, you just don't have time to question your Uber driver's name.
At least you're married now.
Yeah, celebrating 4 years anniversary. I'm a real lucky guy, I don't know why he still wants to be with me. I'd imagine though the only way to continue keeping him is I'm gonna probably have to start making him a Cosby cocktail every morning. Yeah, that'll do it. Does anyone around here know how to make that?
Ever worked an odd job?
Nothing really too odd, although one time I did in fact work for Ariana Grande's father. He taught me web design and graphic design, believe it or not, which was a skill that came in handy, especially when photoshopping his daughter's head onto a horse's body.
When did you decide to start a career in comedy?
I used to be a financial analyst, but after almost 10 years of doing receivables and payables and analyzing and ledgers and month-end reports, I just thought, what the am I doing here? So I quit, and now, 10 years later, I still have no idea what the I'm doing.
You once almost joined the armed services. What happened?
When I was younger, I did enlist to join the Marines, which is crazy because I know nothing about the ocean.
Do people ever confuse you for a more well-known celebrity?
People confuse me for a celebrity all the time, like Gollum, Nosferatu, Kalu.
Any bad habits?
Oh yeah, I have plenty. One of them is I bite my nails a lot. Just so hungry all the time. I hear biting your nails could give you tapeworms. Probably explains why I'm still so incredibly thin.
You used to smoke.
Oh yes, I used to smoke cigarettes. Yeah, a lot. But I haven't smoked a cigarette in at least 5 years. So, I could use one right about now.
Your mother also battled her own addiction, didn't she?
Yeah, nothing too crazy, just a little crack, which wasn't her fault, she always asked her dealer for heroin. I guess they were just out. I'm actually proud to say my mother is going to be 23 years clean and sober, which sounds like a big deal, but it's really not that impressive when you think about the fact that I was born on the drugs she was using. So I've been clean and sober for 37 years, so kudos to me. The problem for me is now that my mother is clean and sober, she's just not fun anymore. You know, I remember being a child and we would play hide and seek, and I would go hide in a closet and she would spend 3.5 hours looking for me in a kitchen cabinet. When my mother was high, she was just a great sport about it, you know. There was a time, you know, in elementary school, I remember when parents used to help their children with their science fair projects. But my mother, she was my science fair project.
How's your grandmother?
She's no longer with us. A still sensitive subject for me, so thank you so much for bringing it up. Thank you.
My apologies.
I like to think that she's in a better place now, but honestly, what's better than being alive? Nothing.
You're still a moron. And what do you think about the Kardashians?
Enough with the Kardashians already, please. Thank you. I would say the real stars on reality TV are murdered victims. You see them on the news, on the investigation channel. I'm pretty sure if murder victims knew they were going to be on TV, they would have probably want to at least have been alive to watch it.
Where do you stand on a woman's right to choose?
Generally, I'm for a woman's right to choose, but I'm against specific women's right to choose. I once sent out my sister to rent a good, fun-loving movie, and she came back with Schindler's List.
What's one thing that you find strange or weird?
I think the weirdest thing is the English language, right? There are just so many words with letters just jammed in there that you would have never thought were in there. They're just so subtle.
What advice do you have for those interested in the business of television?
I would say to those who are looking to get into television, you know, just keep going. Go for it. Why not? You know, I used to be sitting where you were sitting until, you know, someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, asshole, you're in my seat." Then I had to move.
Now self-destructing.
Thank you guys. I hope you enjoy that. I assure you that there were no smart speaker devices that were actually harmed in the making of that segment. But I did kill a ladybug. She just wouldn't stop asking me if polka dots made her look fat. They did. But stay tuned. Joining us next is our very special guest, running coach Nicole Rodriguez. And she's going to be sitting down with me for a little fun chat. This is Junket Jam Live. Welcome back to Junket Jam Live, everyone. It's okay. Save the applause for your mother. Now, my guest today has an extraordinary talent for coaching and educating others on how to properly condition themselves in order to reach their own fitness goals, specifically in running. As founder and host of the television program Conversation Pace, she has created a platform in which trainers and coaches can share their unique philosophies and expertise within the world of running with athletes of all types. She wears many hats. Not only is she a personal trainer and running coach, but she's also a triathlon coach, a biomechanics specialist, whatever that means, we'll ask her, an entrepreneur, a business owner, an executive producer, director, editor, and writer, and her most important role, a mother. Please help me welcome personal trainer, running coach, and host, Miss Nicole Rodriguez. Yay! Thank you for joining me, Nicole.
Thank you for having me. Wow.
Look at you getting all
This is
dolled up and
great.
dressed up for us.
Haven't you watched the show?
I have.
always,
I know
like,
you're
extra.
always extra.
Extra.
So
Over
now
the top.
first, I have a million questions for you, but now we already know you're a runner to
Yes.
begin with. Now, is this part of your staple in your attire, your little meter there?
Sometimes.
The
It depends
stopwatch?
on, if I'm on the track, yes.
But you do know there's no track here.
Yeah, but I got places to go, people
Oh,
to see.
she's timing me, everyone. Okay, so now obviously you're a runner. How many times, well, first of all, even before how many times you run in a week, well, how many times do you run in a week, would you say?
I run every day.
You run every day.
That's my job.
So 7 days a week. And now this morning, before coming on the show, you had three clients.
Yes.
And how much did you run with each of them?
Not much. It was raining today.
Ah.
Yeah. So, but for me, it doesn't matter what.
I'd imagine you'd still
Yeah,
run
it doesn't
in
matter.
mud.
Yeah, it's just rain, It's water.
So what is not much then?
As far as raining or
No, with your clients
distance?
today.
A total was about 6 miles total.
Wow, 6 miles, and she still looks
Yeah.
fly. That's amazing. You want to know
And
what
the
I look like
shoes,
after
go.
6? I would look like that pineapple right there. So that's awesome. So now you are originally from Austin, Texas.
That's right.
You studied business, law, but you started becoming a running coach in Hawaii.
No.
Well, okay, but you used to live in Hawaii
Well, I went to Hawaii for my certification for
to
running.
become a running coach.
Yes.
So what was the inspiration to become one to begin with?
Well, when I started running, I didn't have anyone to help me. And I started I started when I was young, but I stopped.
Yeah.
And then I got old. I turned 30 and I was overweight, and I wasn't a high schooler anymore. So, it's like starting over, brand new, with a brand new body.
Obviously, you needed to lose weight, but did someone inspire you to then want to help others? Did you have a mentor that did that for you, or this was just something like, okay, I made this accomplishment for myself and now I want to share that?
I got a lot of, when I was running, I was also a pacer before I was a coach. And people would ask me, can you help me? Can you coach me?
What is a pacer, by the way?
A pacer is just someone who keeps, let's say you want to go do 6:30-minute miles. My job is to stay at 6:30 and you to not pass me,
Got it.
not go too
You're
far.
the pacer, yes.
Stay with me and I'll
So
keep you
people are
there.
actually conditioning and moderating how fast they are running.
Right. But
For-
that's not coaching. It's just pacing.
It's just pacing.
pacing.
So then from pacing,
Then I went to
people asked you to,
Yeah.
hey, can you help me, whatever running goals.
Right.
So now I didn't know there's a big difference. So obviously there's a difference
Yes.
between triathlons, marathons, obviously sprinting, jogging,
Yes.
and even just track and field, right? What is your favorite?
cross country.
Cross country.
You have ultra marathons.
What do you do personally?
I like just meditating and enjoying the scenery.
You just run for fun and
Yeah.
get paid for it as well.
Well, I get paid to run, yes, and that's mostly where I spend most of my running. Is working with my clients. I'm really usually too tired to run for myself.
Yeah.
But
Also,
I get paid to run.
So you're basically having a set of clients also helps to keep you motivated.
Yes.
Okay, so now coaching people and pacing them and conditioning them is one thing. Can you tell us what does it mean, because this is also part of what you do, what does it mean to learn to run injury-free?
Okay, so a lot of runners complain about having knee pains, hip pain, shin splints. Sometimes they end up getting stress fractures. So my job is to prevent them from hurting themselves.
Right.
The mind and the body, two different things. Sometimes people think like, hey, I have 2 legs, I can do this. But your body's like, oh no, you can't. And so my job, and this is where the biomechanics comes in. Biomechanics, the way you move, the way you walk, human movement.
So each movement is obviously very important, how you move. Obviously stretching is important, and all these other things affect a runner's body.
Yes.
So now you do understand then there's good running technique, there's bad running technique. Now I know there's things you do not suggest doing. One of them is the treadmill. Why?
The treadmill, well, if you're training for something, if you're training for a marathon, is your marathon going to be on a treadmill?
Yeah.
If it's not going to be on a treadmill, get off the treadmill.
Right.
You want to run on a course that's going to imitate the marathon.
Right.
New York City Marathon, there's some inclines there. So you want to train on some inclines.
Actual incline. But
So,
now,
yeah.
as someone who just goes to the gym and for cardio work, am I okay to do 7 miles per hour on the treadmill, or is that too much?
Well, first of all, most treadmills are really hard surfaces.
Yes.
So the impact is going to affect your joints.
Even though I don't feel it
A lot of
today.
people, you will feel it tomorrow, the next day, or eventually you could feel it like 3 months. Everyone's body is different. You know,
Right.
no one, 2 runners are the
Now
same.
speaking of different, because you're in great shape, by the way.
Thank you.
And you're also a personal trainer, but you also do have a personal trainer.
I do. You've
Why
been
is it
doing
im-
your research.
Well, why is it important for a trainer to have a trainer?
Like I said, when I came in, sometimes I'm just exhausted.
Got it. You
and
need
so
the push.
I need that extra push. And I mean, that's why people hire personal trainers, because they can't do it themselves, or they need the extra motivation.
So now, before we move along, what would you say is the most beneficial thing about running?
It's the fastest way to lose weight.
Okay.
The quickest
Fastest way to lose weight
the
and to
quickest
stay in
way.
shape.
Yeah.
Now, other than a personal trainer, you also have a massage therapist. This one has her own personal. Now, her name is Harut. She's also a marathon winner.
Yes, she is. She's from Ethiopia.
Okay.
And she's a professional runner. She wins marathons all over the world.
So other than obviously running every day, do you physically need a massage every week?
If you're doing a lot, yes, you're actually tearing down your body. So you need time off, and you need to, get massages and take care of your muscles there. Loosen up.
Let's talk a little bit, because you host your own show.
Yes.
Conversation Pace. And now I understand what a pacer is, so that makes sense. So tell us, how you got your show started. I mean, what is Conversation Pace?
We're talking.
Right.
At a pace, certain pace. So when you run and you can talk, that's conversation pace. So the time you want to use conversation pace when you're running is when you're building distance, not when you're trying to get faster. Obviously, when you're running faster.
There's no time to talk. Yeah.
But when you're building distance and you're trying to train your body to cover 10 miles, 19 miles, 20, you need to run at a pace where you can breathe. Take in the oxygen, because the oxygen goes into the muscles. You're not only training your muscles, you're training your organs,
Yes.
your lungs, your brain, because
My brain goes a
26
mile.
miles.
Yeah.
Like you gotta every inch of your being has to adapt to 26 miles. So you want to run at a pace where you can talk to people and distract yourself, basically.
All right, well,
but
thank you. So-
that's what it means.
So and so obviously you've built this platform to talk about that, and
Right.
obviously to teach others different techniques
Right.
and obviously philosophies.
Yes.
So I have some photos
Oh God.
that I snapped from you from Instagram and Facebook.
Oh
and
my
if you don't
God.
mind, I'd like to, just tell us, I guess, briefly what that photo is.
Okay.
All right, so here's the first one.
Oh my gosh.
That is you on Good Morning America. First of all, they confused you for Madonna. I don't know how that
I
happened.
love that. Well, yeah, I was with Madonna's trainer at the time, and I was like a backup dancer. I was in the
Okay.
background doing some calisthenics, and we were actually doing a workout that he does with Madonna.
Got it.
So I was in the back doing the modified versions of whatever.
Whatever it is they do.
Yeah,
Obviously
the
for
easy,
television,
yeah,
for
the,
a quick segment.
Yeah, the easy stuff.
Okay, so now here's the next picture. I believe this is you in the Boston Marathon 2014. Now, specifically, this was the year after the bombings.
Yes.
Where 3 people died and 16 people lost limbs.
Right.
So, is there a specific reason why you went the year after?
Yes, that's why. I wasn't going to do it. Like, I was exhausted. Again, training my other runners, it's very difficult for me to train myself.
Right.
But when that happened, I was like, you know what? I already qualified, because you have to qualify to run Boston. You have to have a certain time. When that happened, I was so pissed.
Yeah.
Like, you can't intimidate us. We're marathoners.
Yeah.
And I had to do it. Even though I wasn't trained, I did it anyway, just to make a point.
And you finished.
And I finished.
All right.
Yes.
Good job.
Yay.
All right. So let's go. We have this next photo. Look at you on the catwalk. Now, you recently had a fashion show
Yes.
on your show.
Yes. I had a fashion show because fitness, people want to look good. And the business of fitness fashion has exploded. And what a lot of people don't know is that brands like Nike, Reebok, Puma, they actually hire people, luxury brand designers, to collaborate with on their fitness fashion so it can look more appealing to the masses. So we recruited some couture fitness designers who are independent.
Right.
Like, these are the
And-
people who, before Nike will get their hands on them, these
And
are
their
the people
clothing
that-
was also, ecological
Yes, yeah.
conscious, I guess. I don't even know if I use
Yes.
that term properly.
Yes, so biodegradable, eco-friendly, so all of that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so now you have a daughter.
Yes, I do.
Her name is Kelsey.
Oh my God, he did his research. Is she on the phone?
Hey, Kels! So how do you, well, first of all, I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Yes.
Now, do you take her out with runs? Is she running, or is she rebelling?
No, actually, she is not a runner. Not
Right.
that she has to. Like, she watched me get into running because I was overweight. She's not overweight. She eats healthy. Like, she has no reason to start running.
Right.
But she loves yoga and a little weightlifting here and there.
I like
body
that.
work.
Obviously. So now, I have to ask this question. Now, you are obviously African American.
Yes.
You are also Mexican American, two often very disparaged communities in our country. I guess real quickly, why is it important to be not only proud of what you do, but of who you are? And does that affect, what you do?
Yes. The field of coaching, period, in this country is dominated by the majority of white men, whether it's NFL, basketball, any sport. So for me to create a platform, or even I had to create my own profession, really, as a coach, and it was difficult for me to get respect. But I'm tough. You know,
Yeah.
I'm from the hood too. So
Don't test her.
Yeah, don't test me. So they respect me now. I did have to, you know, get my credentials and have gained some experience, but those people respect me, and in fact, they come to me for advice. So hey, there you go. And I even sometimes I'll have them on the show.
Sometimes we'll see. We'll pencil them in.
Yeah,
Pencil them in. Okay, so I have some clips,
Yeah.
not of you, but I have some clips of people just doing different running activities, races, and different things like that. And maybe you could share some of your ideas of what went wrong. So these are actually running fails.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So we have some running fails for you. Let's watch the first clip here. Look at that. Now what is she doing wrong there? Because I can see this little frail one at the top there. Her legs are going up high enough.
She's under. Yeah,
She has a sweater on, I think, which might hinder her a little bit.
Yeah, and you know what? The funny thing is, like, again, we'll go back to your mind thinks you can do something, but your body's like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
You have to condition yourself to jump
do
that
that.
high, to lift your legs up. And you'll see people doing drills. You see Olympians pulling their legs up.
All
There's a
of that
neuromuscular
works.
connection that when it's time for you to jump over a hurdle
You're
that
ready.
high, you're ready because
You're
you've
ready.
been practicing it before there's a hurdle
So
in your way.
here's the second clip. So they're running. This one catches up. Pow! That's not very professional, is it?
You know what? And it happens so quickly.
It's so rude.
Yeah, that's
How-
just mean.
That's just
That's
mean.
just mean.
Now, do you have any of your clients are like training for like, what is this, a sprint? What is this called? A race?
Yeah, it's a race. Well, actually, one of my coaches taught me how to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive in competitive running.
Yeah, but there's still some boundaries, I'd imagine.
Well, when someone does that to you, you have to be prepared. Obviously, he didn't see that coming,
Yeah.
obviously. But yes, I teach my runners how to do elbows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that was your
Someone's-
client that did that.
That was my
pretty much.
client.
So here's the next clip. She's about to finish. Oh, no, she lost.
Yeah.
Now, in races, I'd imagine, even at the very end, that's called complacency, right?
Yeah, you can never get too comfortable. 'Tis life. Don't get comfortable.
Because she saw an opening. Look, bam,
Yeah, she got
won.
comfortable. She was like, You never slow down. You actually speed up at
Yeah.
the finish. You
Obviously,
never
and that's
slow
what
down.
happened to this young girl to her
oh,
left.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's watch this next clip. This is another hurdle. Another hurdle. Now he falls, gets back up, falls, gets back up, falls. Now, obviously,
He should be a tumbler. Forget
just
running.
roll, get up
Exactly.
and roll
There
and
you
tumbler.
go.
Okay. Now this one is from a marathon. I don't know which one, but it goes by real quick. Look what happens here. Oh. Now, is this an ideal place? I mean, shouldn't they have like string that along so that people could run around it?
Yeah, that's not cool.
And nobody
At
here is saying,
all.
"Hey, watch out!"
That's actually a triathlon. I could tell by their
Outfits.
outfits.
Okay,
Yeah.
what are they about? Well, he's done. He's not finishing with the
I don't
race.
think he finished that race, but you never know. Triathletes happen to be
Tough.
like AAA personalities.
So that was there on purpose.
You got to do 3 sports: swim,
Yeah.
bike, run.
Yeah.
And that was a run, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And months to train, and it's an expensive sport. You got a bike, you got wetsuit, you got all this stuff. I'm quite sure he got up
He
and
kept
finished
going.
that damn race with a limp, but
so
he
we have one
finished.
more to show you, and obviously this is not a local video, but let's look at here. So these guys are running through coal, and then this guy just face plants. Now I've seen walking on coal, but I've never seen people race.
Unfortunately, they don't train people how to run
on
during
hot
these.
coal.
Yeah. Wow. What he
Right.
should have done
Is not have done
is
it.
not have done that. it.
No, I don't know what went wrong here, but he definitely. Well, they're not running obviously with sneakers
Or with
or with a brain.
yeah.
So now, first of all, thank you so very much, Nicole,
Thank you.
for joining us. Now, where can we find more information about you? I know there's conversationpace.com.
There's conversationpace.com. There's Conversation Pace Show on Instagram. Conversation Pace on Facebook, and hopefully on Netflix or something coming soon.
Oh, awesome. Well, you're going to have to tell us a little bit more about
MNN.
And MNN right here.
We
MNN.
can't-
Now,
we can't forget
you
that.
are filming another show coming up, but I believe this is going to air after that. But do you have anything special coming up maybe in August?
We have my dentist is coming, because I always talk about how my hair is turning white and my teeth are turning black. It's just with age. So my dentist is coming. She's also the dentist who fixed Cardi B's teeth.
Oh, okay.
And we have 2 Olympians coming, and we have some amazing triathletes coming in the
Awesome. So that's
the audience.
conversationpace.com and Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
Conversation Pace Show. Stick around. In our next segment, we take a visit to the public bathroom, and I am taking Nicole with me. All right, so stick around, guys. Thank you for joining me,
This is
Nicole.
great. I love the
This
video.
is fun. Thank you.
Good. Great show. Great segment.
Welcome back, everyone, to Junket Jam Live. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm obviously joined here by the very lovely Nicole Rodriguez. Now, everyone gets a little bummed sometimes, but these uplifting affirmations I found while wiping my bum in a public bathroom are sure to cheer you all up. In this segment, I call Bathroom Stall Affirmations. And obviously joining me again is our guest personal trainer, running coach, and host, Nicole Rodriguez. So we're going to go through this segment. I've obviously found some personal affirmations that I feel we could all live by. And obviously people like to write in public bathrooms for some reason, just without their Sharpie. So let's go through these. The first one. Life is what you make of it when you've made it on yourself. Have you ever had an accident before?
I'm a woman.
Oh, I'm a woman too. All right, moving on. Don't throw your life away or anything else that may clog the toilet. Now, have you been in public where you're like, oh my god, the toilet is clogged?
No.
Oh, good. I don't know if that's ever happened to you.
After I've used it, or if I
Oh.
walked in and it was already clogged.
Well, I think usually you don't notice, right? And then you use it and then it gets clogged would be the real danger.
I think like when you go to people's homes and then
Oh,
you
that's
use
pretty
it, and then
embarrassing.
that's happened to
You
me,
just
yes.
don't leave the bathroom. Just stay there. Just camp out for a few minutes. Okay. When life gives you lemons, eat them. They help with bowel regularity. Do you drink lemon with your water?
Yes, I do.
Yes. I'm assuming for that reason.
Yes, I do.
Okay, moving along. For a good time, call 1-800-232-2323. That's the number to the Centers for Disease Control. Public bathrooms are cesspits. Do you have to, obviously when you wash hands, do you ever have to use sanitizer or wipe everything down?
Well, I slide.
Oh, okay, okay.
To everything.
That's your answer to everything. Just flush with your feet. I love it. Diamonds are a girl's best friend until she needs a tampon. Obviously, that's your emergency you had before. We're all women. I don't know. I mean, you can have all the diamonds in the world, but if you're stuck without something.
Or if you have an extra shirt around.
Oh, okay. That works. Now I know that's not a diaper, that's a shirt she's wearing. Okay. 'Tis better to have loved and lost than to have no toilet paper at all.
That is so true.
Do you carry baby wipes with you?
No, I don't. So, but it's hard for me to go out in public and use the
Anyone.
The number two.
The number two
I'll
is
stay at
difficult for
home.
me too.
I'll stay at home.
Yeah,
like I
constipation nation if I'm out all day. If you love someone, set them free. If they come back, they're yours. If they don't, they now prefer someone who uses a gender-neutral bathroom. Now, actually, that has happened to me. I've obviously skipped out on one of my girlfriends and went straight to men. Well, she cheated on me with a man, so I had to dump her and cheat on her with a man too. Has anyone ever you dated then went to the other side? Is that something that happens? No.
No, but I've always had my
Suspicions.
Like,
What are you doing back there? Leave my butt alone. Okay, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So please do wash your hands. It's hygiene. Don't we teach our children this? Even after I wash my hands, I have to take the paper towel and open the door with it. Because it's like, oh, Lucy's handle.
Exactly.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know, wait, when did I eat corn? So strange why that always appears when you eat it.
Or beets.
Or beets? Oh, does it get really purple?
Yes.
Now, do you eat beets regularly?
I do.
For a specific reason, I can imagine?
Digestion.
Energy.
Alright. Take a look. It's in a book. Never mind, it's just a big glory hole. I'm assuming you've never been to a gay men's bathroom before. It's in the city.
No. And that's what
Now I'm gonna go to gay bars just to go to
Yeah, just all you have to do is just look in it. Now, next time you're at work, school, or the mall, take a visit to the public bathroom. You never know what spectacular words of wisdom you may encounter while trying not to poo too loudly. Up next, Nicole joins me for some more fun. We'll be right back. This is Junket Jam Live. Thank you very much, guys. Now, we all like to act like we can do bad all by ourselves. But what good is Bonnie without Clyde? Or Jay-Z without Beyonce? Or Ma without the Carena? I'll tell you what, incomplete. Yin without the Yang is really just another old crazy Chinese woman ready to push you out of the way so she can find a seat on the bus. Now, there's nothing wrong with riding solo. I mean, Yin does it every morning on the bus. I know because I'm the one she pushes. But for this game, we celebrate some incredible collaborations, duos that became household names because they had the good sense to work together. I call this game It Takes Two. Joining us again is our very special guest, Nicole Rodriguez. Thank you so very much for playing.
Thank you for having me. This is going to be fun.
The game is very easy, Nicole. I'm going to read out some clues.
All right.
Right?
I love games.
And all you have to do is guess.
Okay.
Right? It's that easy.
Multiple choice, true or false?
Just an answer will
Okay,
suffice.
whatever. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so here is the first clue. Now, despite the domestic abuse, Mary couldn't have been prouder of these two musical icons. But what's love got to do with that anyway? Who's
Ike
the
and
duo?
Tina Turner.
It's Ike and Tina Turner. Look at you. All
I
right.
love trivia.
1
This is so
point.
good. Oh my God.
You love
One,
trivia. Do you love Ike
one.
and Tina?
I love Ike and Tina.
Okay, you ready for your next question?
Yes.
The most dynamic of duos, these masked and Cape Crusaders were often confused for lovers instead of the vigilantes in women tights that they actually were. Who are they?
Batman and Robin.
They are Batman and Robin,
So good.
indeed. Yep, dust it off, dust it off. Ready? Here's your next clue. These morning talk show co-hosting broads can outdrink any man, any day, especially at 9 a.m., all without ever losing their spot on the teleprompter.
I don't watch that show, but I know
You think
Kathy
you know who?
and I forget her name.
So they are Kathy Lee and Hoda.
Hoda.
Hoda!
Hoda.
Hodat!
Hoda.
Hodat! These two lactose-friendly lads will come up with any excuse to create a new ice cream flavor, including Cherry Garcia and Bohemian Raspberry.
Well, my favorite is Chunky Monkey, and you're talking about Ben and Jerry.
They are Ben and Jerry's, indeed. So you eat a lot of ice cream on your cheat days?
I don't actually. Back in my fat days, yeah, I was a Chunky Monkey girl.
And you've lost 30 pounds?
Yes.
Wow,
But
congratulations.
Chunky Monkey, oh my gosh.
Chunky Monkey was
good.
it. Okay.
You are what you eat, and I ate a lot of Chunky Monkey.
I love how we can use the term monkey, but Roseanne Barr, you are
can't,
barred
you can't.
from using that word or anything close to it. These hippie, folksy musicians of the 70s were definitely high when they wrote hits like Wasted on the Way, Almost Cut My Hair, and Our House is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Our house, it's a very, very, very fine house. Something like that.
I don't know the name of that girl.
So they were Crosby and Nash,
Okay, yeah.
which is David Crosby and Graham Nash. I wouldn't know that either. We're almost
ready.
done. You're doing great.
Oh, I don't like to lose.
So when you were younger, you obviously had tests in school, in higher education as well. Did it used to freak you out to take tests?
I had test anxiety.
Yeah. So, but I hope you're not freaking out with
My anxiety.
with
like,
this
I can
little game we got
feel
going.
like, yeah, tingling.
You're
with
doing well.
anxiety.
This music couple once proclaimed to one another, "I got you, babe." Meanwhile, the babe that they had together got a sex change.
Oh. Okay. Babe.
I got you, babe. They sang it together.
Yeah, I love that song by Sonny and Cher.
Sonny and Cher, there you go. I love it. I love it how you already had the answer, but it was at the tip of your tongue, but you still had to dig for it.
Yeah.
What do you think about our little set we've got going on
I
here
love
for
your
you?
set. I love your show. It's great.
Thank you. Well, it's only great because you're on it this
Aww,
time. Okay.
Awesome.
So we're going to the next question.
Okay.
Okay. We may never know how to get to the street these 2 puppet roommates live on, but we do know that one of them slept with the rubber ducky while the other one slept with a stick up his ass. Who are
Oh
they?
no, Bert slept with a stick up his ass. Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie. No, isn't that what they say when you're a little uptight? You
Little
have something
uptight,
up your
yes.
bum?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now we love this canine and feline pair because of their peculiar behavior, silly farts, absurd plot lines about farts, and most of all for giving new meaning to the words, "you idiot." Who are they?
They had a lot of those shows on TV. Cartoons. Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead is one of them. But I am asking you now,
I'm trying to like.
who are these
move,
two?
Change the subject. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Ren and Stimpy.
It is Ren and Stimpy.
Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy, yay.
Yeah.
Happy, happy, joy, joy.
Okay.
Okay,
That was fun.
that was fun. The only thing these simpletons were known best for was going up a hill to fetch a pair of water. That's it, that's your clue.
I love it.
Deal?
Jack and Jill.
It is Jack and Jill. You got that right. Look at that.
I'm so happy.
It's me and my sister there.
Oh,
That's us.
so cute.
That's us. Aw. Okay. She's a criminal now. Okay, so here is your final question. Now, these two girl best friends on the run from the law ended in tragedy when soon after they drove into the Grand Canyon, their hubcaps came off.
It's not Laverne and Shirley.
It's not. I think Laverne and Shirley are still alive, at least in their story. Now, their tragedy would have probably been, oh my God, a machine just slammed on one of their fingers, right?
At the
Didn't they
beer-
work
at the
in
beer factory.
Yes, at the beer factory.
Okay, I'm going to have to go with Thelma and Louise.
Yes, it is Thelma and Louise. You got that.
I'm so good.
How could you not get that feministic movie?
Good. I love that movie. Love it.
Love it. Now what we need is two black girls on the run.
That's right.
Although we did have Set It Off,
we
right?
did
There was
have
Set It Off.
4 girls.
There was 4 of them.
Yeah.
That also ended in tragedy, except
Yeah.
for one of them. Right?
Who was that? Jada Pinkett? No, I can't remember.
I think it was Jada Pinkett who survived, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't
I
it?
think so.
How embarrassing for us to not know our black
No,
cinema.
it's just so sad about us. We know Thelma and Louise.
We know
don't
Thelma
know
and Louise perfectly
Sad.
fine. Well, thank you so very much for joining me to play Nicole.
Thank you for having me. This was
Nicole
fun.
Rodriguez. Hang out because we have some more Junket Jam Live coming up. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for watching Junket Jam Live. I would like to leave you with a quote from the very great and late Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. So please do take the time to make someone else feel special. Thank you. I'm Christopher Albert, and this has been another episode of Junket Jam Live.